Good afternoon.
For record purpose, could you please introduce yourself? Your name
Yeah, my name is Grace Jerry. I'm the Executive Director, Inclusive Friends Association.
Okay. You've been in Edo State for quite a while ahead of the election. So what would you say is the preparedness of INEC ahead of the election regarding persons with disabilities?
Okay. Inclusive Friends is, we've been here for the past few weeks, all in a bid to prepare the community of people with disabilities to come out en masse and vote. Before this day, in 2016, I remember we were back in town to conduct what is called the accessibility audit of polling unit, and it's the first of its kind that was carried out by people with disabilities themselves. We trained people with disabilities, and what they looked out for were barriers that we were present at polling units. If election materials were in accessible formats for various persons with disabilities, and if civic and voter education targeted them. Now, as a result of that accessibility audit that we carried out during the off-cycle election in Edo in 2016, it has informed our advocacy to INEC and all relevant stakeholders from then till now. And basically speaking around the need to make access more, you prioritize issues of access to election for people with disabilities. And today we have recorded the success and the progress made by INEC on the provision of the Braille ballot guide for the blind, the Form EC30E PWD poster, election day written instruction poster for the deaf, magnifying glasses, and all of those assistive materials put together. Now what we are checking is the deployment. Yes, these materials have been provided by INEC, but what is the deployment plan like? And that is what we've been in town, sensitizing our people. When you go to the polling unit, demand for these assistive materials because provisions have been made for you. If you are blind, when you get to a polling unit, ask that they give you the Braille ballot guide to use such that you don't have to rely on an aid or an assistant. If you are deaf, look out for the poster, the written instruction from EC30E, and it shows you instructions on how to vote, even without a sign language interpreter being present, and all of those things put together. So we've been sensitizing them on the need to go out and vote. We call it the Get Out the Vote campaign, and also have been engaging with INEC, the resident electoral commissioner, just to check on their level of preparedness. What are the materials that are available? What is deployment plan like, and all of that. But before then, Inclusive Friends with our partner NAPVID, with support from Voice, have been putting together disaggregated data of people with disabilities. And this data would aid INEC to know which polling unit to deploy these assistive materials to. And just some few days ago, we made a public presentation to the INEC chairman, the first draft of the data, disaggregated data of people with disabilities in Edo State. And also the chairman handed it over to the resident electoral commissioner. As we speak right now, that data is what INEC has used to aid deployment of these assistive materials to the polling unit.
Okay, so now you're telling us that you're very sure that those materials are available and the deployment plan will be duly followed.
When the materials arrived Edo and they were at the central bank, INEC got in touch to let us know that those sensitive materials are here. Of course, they are sensitive materials, the Braille ballot guide, magnifying glasses, and all of that. We're already at the central, and we saw pictures. We saw, visibly, I saw the picture of the Braille ballot guide. And I saw other pictures of how it's been deployed to some local government already. What we will be checking tomorrow, because we are deploying team of observers to the field, what we will be looking out tomorrow is if it was deployed, not just deployed to the polling unit, but if it's going to be put to use. Okay. Because it's another thing to deploy, it's another thing for it to be utilized. We're going to be checking utilization tomorrow. And that is what our team of observers, including I myself, I'm going to be going out to observe. That is what we're going to be looking out for.